Welcome back to the action as we get back into the arena for Declan Brennan's first appearance of the weekend. Currently sitting at number 2 in the rankings. He's watched the man above him get knocked out in the first round, so a viable chance to take that number 1 spot. He would need a win in this tournament though, not just in this match, to overtake after the first event, but 2 events this weekend, so across the weekend it's a very realistic chance for him. Mark Shepherd and Tony Holgate with you for this one. And the man looking to stop Declan is the gentleman at the table, Matt Cooke. Big task ahead of him.
The cookie monster. When I got here last night, he had a good run in the flyer. When they had all the pros were in it as well last night. Tom Cousins, the lot, they were all there. The hammer, and it ended up with Matt Cooke and Ryan Pisani in the final, which Ryan eventually won. Well done to him.
Actually not a bad way to start the weekend, just getting some competitive practice and in the kind of match conditions, obviously a bit different.
Yeah, well, it's sort of a best of 5 sort of thing, you know, a very short race, but the players will enter it just to, you know, get some table time and also to play with the new balls as well. And this flyers continue on all the way through the weekend. So, Declan Brennan, hand on table. Plays a very good shot there. Still got bits of work to do. Matt Cooke will be disappointed with his visit. Now, this man has just lost in the final of the World Championships a couple of weeks ago. And how does he lift himself? He's played some unbelievably good pool all season. And like I say, it did look like he was destined to win that world title. But he came up against a brick wall in the final of Giuseppe 𝗏𝗏𝗏, who played absolutely fantastic. They both played brilliant in the final, you know, and it's very unlucky. Oh, and Declan Brennan, well, a gift for Matt Cooke.
Careless shot there, just ended up a bit close to his work. I dig down on it so he didn't play a push shot, but just lost control.
Yeah, Matt just played this now, this yellow off the front ball out off these two, the next in the bag, just to bump them out.
Very steady opponent, Matt Cooke. Doesn't have the same firepower that Declan does, but been around the top levels of the game for a long time. Knows very well what he's doing. Wasn't really, I mean, it was obviously a mistake from Declan. It wasn't like a potting error that's going to dwell on too much, but still, against a lower ranked opponent, you just want to get off to a good start. Don't let them warm up. Saying Matt's already had some tournament success this weekend in that flyer. He's being welcomed with open arms into this first frame.
Just wonder maybe in Declan's mind that because Tom Cousins has gone out in the first round, does that play a part in his head? Thinking, you know, well, can I win this tournament now and then get to the number 1 spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's 100% going to say it doesn't, but I think you'd only be human. You wouldn't be human if you didn't at least let it cross your mind. Going across the line of the shot there, but it's just about pulled up in time. Good steady start from Matt Cooke. Chance he shouldn't have had, but that's not his problem. 1-0. There's no question it's going to be a tough one to get over, that world final for Declan. More so, if anything, because he had played so well to get up until that point. Sometimes if you sneak through a tournament and you're getting through a few games you think you shouldn't have won, you can say, well, you've already had a good run, but he played very well the whole way through. Would have been the favourite coming into that final. Not by a lot, but would have been a favourite. Got to forget that though. He's played so well the last season and a half. Feels like he's been putting more time into the game. Just seems to be more consistent. He's bringing his A game more often to pro events. So 1-0 to the good. Matt Cooke, chance to add to that in the second frame. Flirts with the corner pocket. The white doesn't go down, but nor does anything else. Taking an extra second to steady himself after losing that first frame slightly unexpectedly. Just to make sure he doesn't slip a couple behind.
Yeah, it's one of them. Unforced error when he put the cue ball in the centre pocket. And the reds are all there as well again. Tried to bump it out, failed.
When you miss the cannon you're playing for, you can't really legislate for where the white's going to end up. Out of prime position now. Looking at whether he can bail out and just leave the white at the bottom end of the table.
Well, had to play the plant, missed it by a fair distance as well. So Matt Cooke back at the table and a chance to go 2-0. Yellow will pop, I think, into the bottom right-hand corner through the gap of those reds. And if it does, it's a good chance.
Referee 𝗟𝗏𝗪𝗘 keeping a watchful eye as Matt cues over a couple of other balls. Doesn't have to go game here. He could play a safety off the ball on the right hand side if he wants to develop it, but he's got options. A few balls in loose positions that he can use to fashion together a clearance if he wants it. Goes with the percentage option. You can't really blame him for that. It's just such an easy shot to play that ball in a way you develop it and leave your opponent in a tricky spot. Just seeing if you can see the thin edge of the red in the middle of the table. Not super helpful in terms of what he can play, but it's a more controlled shot than having to play off a cushion. And in fact, could see it fairly thick, so what he was weighing up there was that plant rather than whether he could see the angle.
But what's his reward?
Yeah, one of those ones you're forced into taking on because the defensive options weren't great, but he's now committed to carrying on down this path. Well, that ball pots as well, so in fact, his reward is better than it seemed at first glance.
Yeah.
I think when Matt left the table there, he'd have been pretty happy with the couple of shots he'd played. Didn't really look a easy position even to play a safety, but Declan managed to fashion that opening shot. So after the error of the first frame, back on level terms.
Yeah, and that might just settle 𝗘𝗃𝗲𝗿, the equalizer.
He's got to be fancying this match. I mean, he's going to be fancying most matches given that he's the #2 seed, but Matt Cooke's one of those opponents, he's not going to give you anything easy, but he's not going to blast you away. Declan's going to know that he'll get some chances if he can turn up with his game in good shape. So, second break of the match.
Yellows look absolutely plumb. 8 ball available, left hand centre. And a couple of weeks ago in Ireland, this was his food and drink. These finishes the break and running out. It was relentless.
It's that consistency which you feel has improved over the last couple of seasons. He's been a top player for a number of years now and persistently tipped to do well in the pro game and in the World Championships. I wouldn't say he exactly went missing for a couple of seasons, but perhaps a couple of years ago he just wasn't winning quite as prolifically as people were expecting.
He was losing games that he shouldn't lose from bizarre positions where either his opponent would have an extreme amount of luck, and I can name countless times when I was on comms and people are like, you know, come out of snookers and pop balls against him and this, that and the other. But then a combination of just like dry break after dry break, it just never really quite happened. And I said he underachieves. But now he's doing just what I expected him to do, because the talent that this guy has is just ridiculous.
Yeah, he's been such a perennial winner the last couple of seasons.
Sped up as well, Mark. He plays quicker than he did a couple of years ago. He'd be stood at the table and he'd maybe be, I don't know, having a conversation with himself in his own mind as what, oh, do I play this, do I? But which now it just all looks very positive, streamlined. You know, focus on exactly where he wants to go on every shot, and it's quite brisk how he goes around the table.
And you get that clarity from winning. The fact that he's been having success, it just makes it much easier to believe in what you're doing when things are going against you, particularly, like you say, if it's bizarre things going against you, you're just standing there thinking, like, what could go wrong here? And you've got the wrong mindset.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Matt Cooke breaking off, trailing 2-1.
It's made a yellow ball, which he'll be pleased with, because he's going to know that he's not going to get a load of opportunities from Declan, so he wants to start making some first visit chances for himself. Not a simpler finish as the one that Declan had in the last frame, but it's not a bad chance. He's also got an opening red to the top left. Can he find a way through to the yellow?
Plant.
It's rather be yellows. Oh, he's gone with the red.
Convinced he's playing the plant there. But right, so what do we have here? You can play the one into the middle now, the red, and screw back and go on the red at the bottom of the table. I don't know what he's looking at that for. I don't like that. I'd like to be playing that one onto the other red across.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, if it's an easy shot to play red into cushion first and off those two yellows, I get it, but it does look tight. Yeah,
and it can be deceiving. But if he's playing it I mean, he's obviously playing to pot it. If he was going to play it just as some sort of container shot, it's the wrong shot to be playing.
As long as he can make the pot, this is fairly comfortable because the other balls link up well.
I just prefer playing a plant across, but played it very well, did Matt. A lot easier than it looked.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where the position of the yellows helped it along. Sometimes you're sort of battling against the positions of the balls covering the pocket, but there it just seemed a natural shot. Going for the corner to hold position for the ball down the right-hand rail. Not a shot you'd have expected him to miss.
Well, if Declan can get to that yellow beneath the 8 ball and cut it into that bottom right, this really should be 3-1 Brennan. Even if he can't, he's got an easy pot into the bottom left as well, so it should be 3-1 Brennan.
Yeah, a bit careless that from Matt. Could have taken that ball in the middle, but trying to perfect the position. Still a pot that seemed close to 10 out of 10. Just went wide. And that's what Matt doesn't want to be doing. It's one thing to let Declan take chances off his own break, but you don't want to be giving him these open positions.
No, and if Declan fires his break like he did in the last one, then Matt's going to be out of that arena very quickly. If you keep missing balls against this guy, because he's on another level at the moment.
Matt's going to be pleased to be out in this main arena because he's not been getting super deep in a lot of tournaments, so hasn't had loads of time out in the main arena. But at the same time, it's kind of like playing Declan in his front room. He's so comfortable in this situation. You're probably more likely to get an upset against the top player playing them on the outside tables than you are in this format. It's just a tough ask at the end of the day though, isn't it? The form Declan's in.
Just got enough angle to bang this yellow in, bring the cue ball across. Nice big pocket for the 8 ball down the bottom right. Just worried about his shirt, I think, close to the red at the bottom of the table. In goes the yellow. And Declan will say thank you very much and go 3-1 up.
Given that one gift earlier on, Matt Cooke, but hasn't managed to add to it yet. 3-1's all right, but he doesn't want to slip any further behind than that. 15 minutes of a potential 50 played, so plenty of time still.
Yeah, you just feel that Declan's now finding his rhythm. You know, just the way he's cueing round the table, whole demeanour, and like I say, that, you know, he's up to speed. It just all looks a finely tuned engine.
If you are ever going to beat the top players right at the beginning of tournaments, is often the chance. We've seen already Zach Cooper knocking Tom Cousins out. Stevie Dempsey out as well. A couple of big names falling in their first matches. It looked like Matt had a chance to get off to a good start in this match as well, but now Declan's hit his stride. Big powerful break there as well.
Yeah, cue ball landing a little bit on the awkward side at the bottom of the table amongst a little cluster of balls. Can't really tell what he has available, to be fair. He's got the yellow at the bottom. Will he have to go into one of the centres?
Attention call.
Yellows would be the ball if you could get one of them, and he can't.
Yellow ball's in play.
What about that yellow at the top? Obviously goes top right. I don't know if it goes top left. It's very hard to tell past that red. That's nice. Got some angle on here just to push the cue ball up the table a little bit. Get on the next yellow into the right centre.
It's that shot linking the ball that's on the break line, that's the tough one. It's just looking at whether he can play the penultimate yellow to the left centre. Tried to leave a low angle, but has come just the wrong side of straight.
He's looking off the red. So it obviously doesn't go clean. So I guess it's roll the yellow in, play the yellow off the red. And if he gets straight behind it, you see he's only got to stop the cue ball dead, so he's got a shot at the 8 ball. So he could have done with going a little bit further with the cue ball there, because now he's sort of coming away from, or going to the left of the 8 ball when he plays this. Not only that, when you're pushing, you're cutting across the yellow and he wants to play it off that red, it also just changes the angle slightly. Makes it more difficult. And there you see, absolutely nowhere near.
As you say, that would have been a much easier shot straight on. Just somehow judging the angle from the slight cutback is that much harder.
Well, the natural thing for you to do is to try and borrow some, because you don't want to put the cue ball too far away to the left for playing the 8 ball. And then the whole shot becomes out of kilter and everything.
This is a big moment now for Matt Cooke. 3-1 down. A frame he shouldn't ever have had a shot in. Now he's got a chance to get back to 3-2. The only halfway difficult ball is the one to the left of the 8 ball. With the other balls down that end, nothing really to do, just needs to land on it. At some point, run it down the rail. Can have other balls naturally waiting. Taking some extra time to be sure, and you can't blame him for that. I'd think he'd want to clear the balls at the top of the table first, then try and land on that ball on the left rail.
Down the rail next. Frame ball, you think?
Yeah, this is the key shot, isn't it? Ideally, I've liked it a bit straighter. It would have taken all jeopardy out because it would have been a guaranteed snooker. He's played it as a shot to nothing anyway, which has taken the pressure off. Played that well. Not a difficult pot, but just didn't want to lose the cue ball.
That perfect position for Matt. So 3-2. And also Matt Cooke to break next as well. Going along at a decent pace, 4 minutes of frame we're averaging.
So this 8 ball to get it back within 1. And even though he's the player that's behind, there's an argument for saying that he'll be the happier of the 2 players. Could have been further behind. I feel like he's had a bit of a let off there. Doesn't matter too much in the overall scheme of things for Declan. Still holds a lead, but I'd rather have had a 4-1 lead than a 3-2 lead. 𝗠𝗁𝗃𝗃𝗃, we're hearing on the hill, 7-6 in his match against 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. Sean Story 6-3 to the good against Ricky Jones. Liam White 5-1 up on 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗃𝗃. The match is coming thick and fast at the moment, in this early stage. All the players, apart from one or two that had byes in the first round due to their opponents not being able to make the event, are now in action. This is the 32nd out of 32 matches in this round. The players will play a maximum of 2 matches today. We'll play down to a last 16. And that last 16 will resume tomorrow. Play through to a final tomorrow night.
Yellow ball's in play.
What Matt wants to start doing is taking some of these chances. He's taken the 2 fairly easy chances that have been gifted to him. He needs to start unlocking this kind of frame from first visits. Going to be at about halfway point time-wise of the match after this frame. If the scoreline were to be 3-all, that will be something to think about for Declan. When you're the higher ranked player, you really want to have as long a race as possible. If the time starts ticking down, it makes the result less predictable. Finished a bit close to his work, but just about got the angle to chip this yellow to the centre still. That's actually turned out pretty well. Just gentle cannons opened everything up. She needs to pick which ball he's going to leave until last for the 8-ball down the left-hand side. Everything else just dot to dot in the middle of the table. Coming around to check the angle again. It's just off straight to the ball to the right centre, so I can just pop that. Just force a slight angle up the table for the ball nearest the cue ball to the left centre. Wow, that's on a different route.
Slightly trickier now for Matt.
It just didn't seem a particularly necessary thing to do, did it? To play it in that order. Felt like he could have just played on this ball to the right of the cue ball now for the left centre and then taken this ball last.
Yeah, but he's getting the right angle now onto this yellow. He's got the wrong angle. He might just be able to run this in and send the cue ball off that red that's to the right of the yellow and push the cue ball down just slightly and land in that gap where he can play the cut with the 8-ball into the bottom left. Failing that, it's a deep screw with left-hand side off the top rail and spin the cue ball up to the bulk and back down and back onto the side rail. Well, he went for the latter. To be fair, he controlled the cue ball pretty well, but he's missed the pot.
Always tougher that way, because that red that he's finished up near is played big. That's why his mind was on that rather than on the pot itself. 2 frames have been gifted the other way. Now it's his chance to return the favour. News from the 𝗠𝗁𝗃𝗃𝗃 match. He's completed an 8-6 win over 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. Another big name out early on.
Yeah, that's a huge win for 𝗠𝗁𝗃𝗃𝗃. So Declan with a chance to get halfway there, restore that 2-frame cushion.
Played in an area that left him a choice of shots. So yeah, seriously, he's taking the game. This was a gift-wrapped opportunity and a fairly simple one. Still getting every shot due attention though. And that's the right approach. You can't win a tournament if you get knocked out in the first round. You've just got to get through these early round matches. Just make absolutely sure, particularly in this tournament where there's no easy, it's not like you can progress through a couple of rounds against lesser ranked opponents. Like everyone here is capable of beating the top guys. Take these balls in either order, but trying to leave the ball above the 8 ball until last for the guaranteed position. Just over half the match played now. With these 2 balls, he'll get to the halfway point. 4 out of the 8 frames that he needs.
And this 8 ball puts Brennan 4-2 up. And the destroyer is halfway to victory.
Avoided a potential mini banana skin there. Could have found himself back at 3-all, which would have stressed him unnecessarily. This cushion re-established. It's going to feel a bit more comfortable. Lots of pool ahead for this weekend for all of the players, particularly so if you win a few matches. 2 64-man pro events. That will be the focus for these guys. So much other pool being played around the venue. Got the various challenger events, next gen, seniors, disability series, women's pro and challenger. And also various team events in progress. Great atmosphere. Yeah, a little wander around the venue during the last match. There's the main room next door. 68 tables in play. Really lively atmosphere. But as you were saying earlier, the table's quite nicely spread out, so quite watchable. You can go over and find pretty much whatever game you want to see. It's not like one of those tournaments where everyone's crammed in and you can only get to one side of the room.
Red ball's in play.
Well, that's turned out pretty well. So it was worth the risk of just running into that area, just trying to open it up slightly. Would have been easier if you'd been dead straight on the ball to the left centre.
Cue in the air for Declan. Oh, Decky. Now then. Yes, as he whips his towel in frustration. There, it's a loose shot.
Yeah, just finished slightly off angle and was just trying to dig down on it. If he'd just been rolling in, I don't think he'd have missed it. But in retrospect, he's going to wonder why he didn't just roll it in.
Yeah.
Not sure the position's that much better that he's left anyway. The yellow's not in great shape though. The 3 at the top of the table are all a problem with the position of the 8 ball.
I'll tell you what. Is that ball in hand?
Maybe the ball above the cue ball, did that make?
I mean, I did glance at this. Right. Here's the cushion. Oh, and I did just... Do you know what? I looked at that first time and I thought the cue ball hadn't hit the second cushion. There's me calling fouls. Good job I'm not reffing.
Stay in your lane, Tony. No point looking for trouble, eh?
No, exactly. What's the cue ball doing here? Decky not quite at the races. Can you get that in the middle?
give you a bonus if you can, because that's definitely not what he's played. Wow. He's taking a few of the seconds that he's got available to just bemoan the position he's left in.
Yes.
Have to get on with it though. 10 seconds remaining. He's used his extension already. Ultimately, not much he could do.
He's played that so well.
Yeah, I mean, at best he was going to play a containing shot there, but he's played it at such a good weight that he's got the snooker as well.
It's a great shot. It really, really is. Horrible shots those to play and get the weight right, because goes too far or too short, he's leaving Matt Cooke apart and potentially the frame. So Cookie now really needs to pot out a snooker, but he might get away with it. He's played a legal shot, and tell you what, he has blocked the red into that top corner, but can Declan Brennan sneak the ball at a fairly acute angle into the middle? I think it goes. Refusing it.
Yeah, he could have been tempted to go for that. He can either have played it as a cross double or cut it into the middle. It's not likely to get much better. I suppose he can play now the two balls on the left and then just play a double.
Yeah. Well, he is. That's what he's looking at. He obviously preferred the double to that sort of a dribbly cut into the middle. So, about the third chance this is in this frame for Declan Brennan.
The match started off quite well, but it's just got a little bit scrappy in the middle part. In a sense, that's not the worst thing from Declan's point of view. It's a long tournament. You can't be playing your A game from the start. You just make sure he wins at least. Chance to improve.
What is his frame ball? Straight double into the middle. Might square off with a little bit of side, but you can just roll the double in. In it goes, and the destroyer is going to get 5-2 in front, but it's not been vintage Declan. Took him 3 efforts to get that frame done.
Sometimes these early matches are just about the result. It's not by any means been a bad performance, but it's just not been,
no, it's been just a bit
as clinical.
Yeah. Is he value for his 5-2 lead? No, probably not. Matt's had chances. Matt's made a few mistakes here and there, but that's the game. You get these early rounds when it can be a bit sticky, and it's managing to just navigate through the dodgy waters, stormy waters, if you will, when things aren't quite going right and you're not firing on all cylinders. Because we all have it. Well, everybody gets a little bad patch in a tournament.
The frustration, of course, for Matt is the fact that he could be in a better position in this match because he has had some chances. I don't know if he's necessarily been in a position he'd expect to be ahead, but he could have been on closer to level terms. Goes with the cut break, but
yeah, it wasn't
no success.
Wasn't a forced one, was it? With the cue ball just bouncing around down at the bottom, it never looked the greatest break in the world.
Seen a whole lot of safety play. This frame looks like it may be a bit slower. Matt's not at the stage yet when he's got to go chasing after anything. Obviously he's the player that's eventually got to make something happen. Got to win at least 3 more frames in this match. 17:30 still on the clock though, so can afford to bet himself in for this frame, just trying to grind out a chance. Good opening red though. Now, having played that good opening red, he has got a chance to go for the finish. with the chances he's had, he certainly wouldn't want to be worse than 5-3 behind. Probably feel that really he should be playing this frame for 4-all. We'll focus on getting access to the little triangle of balls, the two reds and a yellow below the area he's in now. The balls are possible. See there, just need to find that gap. It's one of those ones as well. Once you pot the first one, pot the ball to the bottom right hand corner, then play cannon into the yellow above it, just opens the area up. You may just have to run through the gap between red and yellow. Yeah, the gap, that's fine. Just about still on the ball to the right centre. Problem though now on the right hand side, red and yellow together. Looks like this route has ended up being a little more convoluted than you might have expected a couple of shots ago. And that's the problem, that was never a guaranteed shot. And if you look at where the cue ball's finished up, he wasn't going to be on the other red anyway. Now slipping into a problematic situation this for Matt. 3 frames behind, less than 15 minutes remaining. Now his opponent at the table with 7-2 ball advantage. Make this ball in the centre, it's quite tight, but in behind it. Very hard to see a way back from 6-2 down, so I've got to feel this is close to being for the match, even if not guaranteed to be so. So in some ways this is shaping up to be a perfect first round match for Declan. He's played well without being at his brilliant best. Currently holding a fairly comfortable lead. Clearly room for improvement. Pulls out a rare right-handed shot. Could have played the other ball first, but then played the ball over the pocket to get position. So this made the cue ball a bit easier to control. Now he just drop this ball to the bottom left-hand corner. Just run the cue ball through very slightly.
Yeah, it's been a decent performance from Declan. Not his blistering best, but he's getting the job done.
A couple of other players close to getting the job done. Sean Story 7-5 up on Ricky Jones, just needs 1 for victory there. So too Liam White 7-3 up on 𝗪𝗫𝗪𝗑. A couple of the other matches in play a bit closer. Ryan Pisani just with a single frame lead over Phil Parkin, currently up by 4 frames to 3. Phil Harrison and Aidan Hughes tied at 1 apiece. Jaden Billiams won the first 2 frames of his match against Greg Batten. 2-2 between the Joker, Jimmy Croxton, and John McAllister. Aaron Davis, 4-3 to the good against Simon Fitzsimmons. 6-2 to the good in this match. Declan Brennan steps up to break in frame 9. How's that for a break? Barely got through that. 3 yellows down, 1 red. It's a frame that could be over very quickly. The yellow's all sitting beautifully. The only half difficult shot's going to be the opener. As long as he makes this ball, this frame should be all over. Well, sometimes that's the way though, when you only need the 1 ball. That's a very surprising miss by that margin. Wasn't like he jawed that ball, he was right across it. And now open table left for Matt Cooke, and a much simpler position. He's got a much easier yellow to go after. Still a long way back from here, but this is exactly what he needed. One roll too many there. Trying to leave himself straight on the ball, bottom right. We're travelling a bit more now. Behind the pocket it looked relatively straight, but you can see from this angle there's quite a lot of angle. I don't know whether he can just roll this in. If he can just roll it in and leave distance, that's fine, but can he keep enough control of the cue ball? That's fine. If he'd just got a touch on that red on the way past, that would have held position. Failing that, played it with enough pace that he was coming on and off the side cushion back into open play. Still a big ask, but keeps himself in the match. The lead cut to 3. Declan Brennan still 6-3 up, but Matt Cooke gives himself a lifeline. 10 minutes 13 remaining on the match clock. Plenty of time to get 3 more frames. Seems unlikely this match is going to play 15 frames, whatever the outcome. 10 minutes 13 on the match clock. Matt Cooke breaks off in frame 10.
Not a great break. Not an awful lot of power in that.
Struggled a bit with the break in this match. Not quite got it together so far.
Second shot clock now in play. Yellow ball's in play.
All about the yellow. Stuck next to the red in the middle of the rack part of the table where you rack them up. Can move it here.
More complicated now, that marking, isn't it? It used to just be a spot on the table. Now the referee's got the benefit of the vertical line and 3 spots to make absolutely sure the balls are in the right place.
When it goes in the centre, as you can see, the overhead was it's like it was glued, but that's a far better view of the straightforward yellow into the middle for 𝗍𝗃𝗃. if he took it a second ago when he was behind it.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see much logic for leaving it. I mean, it may still be fine. Of course, he guarantees, now he's played a pretty good shot, he's pretty much guaranteed the position, but if he didn't land with a nice angle here, he would have made life a bit harder.
This 8 ball to get on the hill. In it goes, and Brennan gets a 7-3, and that really is job done. Can Matt Cooke get 4 in a row? Very doubtful. Of course possible, but highly unlikely.
Based on what we've seen, it just doesn't seem likely, does it? It would have to happen quickly. It would have to happen without Declan having enough chances himself to win the one final frame he needs. Decky would obviously like to get this match closed out here. Pretty much knows now that he has won it, but would like to just get the next frame, get to 8 and get out the arena. He'll be back in action later on tonight. He's got one more match to play.
Thank you, frame 11.
2 matches maximum for all of the players today as we whittle the field down from 64 to 32. Winner of this match will be playing the winner of Dylan Leary and Luke McAvoy. They're still fairly early. Dylan's 3-2 up in that match. Matt's got to start somewhere. It's got to start here for Matt. Referee just checking the touching ball there. Doesn't really change anything there. It's not like either player can play towards the 8 ball anyway. Matt would really love to have just got a chance for a clearance there, because the safety game does him no favours. 3 frames, 4 frames behind. Take them quickly.
He played a red off the yellow there into the corner. Opens up the other one next to him. Might do it next shot. Nope.
Referee yet again checking that touching ball, which
he's playing away from it though.
Still makes no difference.
No.
So he's played short position on the red nearest the cue ball for the opposite corner. It's not a brilliant chance this, but it doesn't really matter. Just stays at the table and pots a few balls. That's good enough.
Yeah, not even attempted to put it. Obviously didn't go, so. Again, Declan just killing the match off, and that's not going to do Matt any favours whatsoever. You are going to attempt to win it. You know, you might as well have a go at a pot that in my opinion, you just shake hands.
Now surely Declan has done enough. Only 5 minutes on the clock.
Well, if he knocks this in and gets on the other red, then you think that 𝗍𝗆, he thinks it turned.
May have a point. We did see one other shot earlier in the match.
Fingerprints?
Just turned slightly away from that pocket. It was hard to tell whether it was just a finger mark or whether...
A lot of them about. I don't know. It looked like it was going straight to that far jaw.
It was always on that jaw, wasn't it? On a good day, maybe it just turns in the right way. Ooh. Well, that's surely the final nail in the coffin.
Lots of turn, or will he get the both in the same shot? Should get them both. He does, and he's behind the black.
He's the ball on the left-hand rail, but can he see the one over the top right corner?
Having a bend.
Yeah, he's played this with a bit of side because it's going to help the position anyway. Oh, it's played that well if he misses the middle pocket.
Oh.
The referee's been kept busy here. There's constantly something touching either a cushion or another ball. I don't think he's going to be able to pot this, but the game is well and truly over now. So one final chance for sneaking a last frame for Matt Cooke. It's a better pot. Not a brilliant outcome though. Really easy safety shot. Really want to have to play that. So Declan's going to come off the one cushion and try and make the red bottom left. I'm inside it. So this is a very good chance for Matt to
Yeah, but
get a bit more respectability. Doesn't really change anything though.
not going to change much at all. I don't think even Usain Bolt could run around that table in 2 minutes and get 4 frames. So this will be just cosmetic. Could be 7-4. It will be Matt to break next, but we're just over 2 minutes on the clock. He needs another 3.
No golden breaks this weekend, so he's going to have to do it the hard way.
So it is 7-4, Declan Brennan, 2 minutes and 5 remaining.
Just prolonging the inevitable right now. The result not in doubt.
An unconcerned Declan Brennan can have a little chat now with the crowd and just wait for that clock to tick away.
And we'll have a bit of time off after this. Back in action at 6:15 tonight. Playing the winner of the Dylan Leary Luke McAvoy match. That match is still at 3-2, so these guys got a bit to play still.
Frame 12. To break. 7 frames to 4.
So can he get one final frame on the board? Matt Cooke breaks off in frame 12. Probably his best break of the match. Potted a ball and actually left a pretty good layout.
Red ball's in play.
And fair play to him, he's trying to get on with this quickly. In all likelihood, not going to see too many more frames after this one, but still giving himself something to play for. That's a pretty good shot, landed nicely on the ball to the right centre. All the pressure off now, so playing with more freedom than we've seen in the last couple of frames. Well, a match that could have ended 8-3. Matt Cooke has dug out a couple more frames. 7-5 the score now. But more importantly, 1 minute 07 remaining on the match clock. If we were playing with golden breaks, there would still be something to talk about at this point. But in this format, not time for 2 frames, even if there was time for 1. Declan's played some decent stuff, but clearly a bit to think about here. He could have done with closing this match out in slightly more clinical fashion. It's only the fact that he had such a big lead that's made this less consequential.
Thank you. Frame 13. Declan Brennan to break. 7 frames to 5.
Well, Matt sat in his chair in a relaxed pose. He should really have cue in hand, ready to leap up on the off chance that he gets a shot. He's not going to though, because Declan's made 2 yellow balls. I feel Declan would like to get to 8, but the match is going to be over in less than a minute either way. Going to leave the 2 yellows on the left-hand side as a plant. Screw this ball into the right centre, cue ball into the middle of the table. Makes this plant should just about have time to finish the clearance. Going to end up using pretty much the full 50 minutes of this match, but does finally get over the winning line. Declan Brennan played some good stuff in that match. He did let Matt Cooke in for 1 or 2 more chances than might have been expected though. From Matt Cooke's perspective, slightly one that got away. He was never really well ahead in that match, but he was being gifted enough chances that perhaps he could have just sneaked 1 or 2 more. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Simon will grab a word with our winner.